1 in every 3 women in Trinidad and Tobago has experienced intimate partner violence, according to a 2017 Inter-American Development Bank study. These are just reported cases, those that were not afraid or ashamed to come forward, those that bled onto the headlines. Businesswoman and daughter gunned down. Woman stabbed in domestic dispute. Pregnant Venezuelan woman murdered. Speak to any random woman here in Trinidad and Tobago or anywhere in the world for that matter, and she's sure to have a story to tell about violence against herself or against a sister. As a woman and a survivor of gun violence, I advocate for bringing an end to violence against women. My name is Karen Asgarali. I am a former chemistry teacher, still an educator, an author, an inspirational speaker, and a book developer. I want to thank Debe NALIS for this opportunity to collaborate with them as they commemorate International Day for the Elimination of Violence against Women. Violence stems from a baser instinct. It arises from acting out of a position of loss of control due to anger, ignorance, a lack of resilient skills, and a lack of faith and respect for life. Deeply rooted in a history of male dominance, violence is a violation of human rights, of personal space, of dignity, body, mind, and soul. And it manifests in such forms as murder, domestic violence, sexual violence, street and cyber harassment, human trafficking, female genital mutilation, and child marriages. In 2013, I was reduced to a shadow of my former self. I was shot in the face, chest, and shoulder. My family reeled from the trauma of almost losing an only daughter, sister, aunt, and mother. I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost almost all of my savings, and I lost a sense of who I was. Dangerously lurking in the minds of my family were thoughts of revenge, anger, hatred, and a lack of forgiveness. My colleagues, my students, friends, and community members were also traumatized. I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, but I survived. I was able to start rebuilding my face and my life. Unfortunately, many others did not have such an opportunity. Earlier this year, on the cusp of International Women's Day, a newspaper reported that one female every 5 days was murdered. Such a high murder rate, they highlighted, could not solely be because of women's poor choices, as some may want to claim. I call on everyone to stand against violence. I call on people to recognize that violence is not an act of love or play. I call on all men to value women and to not treat them as objects or without respect or as inferior. I call for a renewal and rejuvenation of values and civics in primary and secondary school. I call for those in authority to act with urgency, to put structures and policies in place to support and protect women and girls. to give priority to recommendations made by those NGOs that do human service to support women. I call on each one of us to take personal responsibility to act out of love, forgiveness, and compassion to our fellow men, and to edify those who may not know better. I want to acknowledge the work done by the former Equal Opportunities Commission, and I look forward to the work to be done by the new EOC with Vice Chair Dr. Gabrielle Hussein, a woman who appreciates the need to address injustice and violence from the perspective of a victim, as well as from understanding the root causes of violence. I wish to endorse restorative justice system through the Sycamore Tree Project, having been through that project almost in its entirety except for 1 week due to lockdown. As a survivor of gun violence, I know that a threat to a woman is a threat to her family, to her children, to her community, and ultimately to society. So I call on everyone as we commemorate International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women 2020 to stand firmly to end violence against women and to support legislative interventions that will end violence against women, or that at least can be used to manage it.